All right, so how's it going, everyone? Hope y'all have been having a great day so far. My name is Ward, and for those who probably been knowing me from the Gamerverse Hub channel, then yeah, thank you for checking out this channel as well, and really appreciate it. And today, I'm just kind of like this is my first official video that I'm doing on this channel, even though the one I did in last time about a week ago, where I'm like kind of recapping my trip on Seattle while sitting in my Airbnb. And so this one, unlike this video, is going to be the kind of format that I will definitely going to be aiming for or in future videos on this channel, to where I'm going to be more than just some guy just talking about generic gaming news or what's going on with the Halo series or what's going on with Nintendo and all that stuff. But personally, this is kind of like more like an open journal, to where I'm going to like probably talk more about the things I usually do and things I've usually been doing for the week or the last month or last couple weeks and all that stuff, and what I'm planning on be doing and all that jazz. And so yeah, basically it's not going to be anything that's like overly formatted, but it will be something that I would like to have some more creative freedom, to where I'm not constantly focusing too much on the algorithm, but also just want to make this YouTube stuff of like a really fun thing to do, instead of just constantly focusing on the analytics like I've been doing with the Gamerverse Hub. Just like, okay, well, I've been doing all that stuff, but hey, we're not going to do any of that kind of nonsense. We're just going to like just have a really good chill and have a good time, and y'all, and hopefully we can actually have a good time and actually get to know me more as a person, instead of just hearing me just like, just regurgitating what's been happening in the gaming industry verbatim, like I've been doing on the Gamerverse Hub channel. And so yeah, that's kind of like how it is. And so yeah, for starters, so maybe we definitely want to like talk about what I've been doing the previous month in terms of gaming. But for recently, like about at the previous month, and maybe probably at the start of like at the end of August, I've been kind of like been working through my backlog of video games, and just like do it for like about an hour or a day. And one of them happens to be like the original Borderlands, and I've been hearing a lot of good stuff, and it's been like sitting on and I believe it's been sitting on my backlog, basically on my Steam backlog for a decent amount of years. And I finally decided to give it a shot after finishing Turok earlier last summer. And I gotta say, it felt like I was really hooked into it, and just really gives me a lot of old school Destiny vibes that I used to have many years ago when I was playing for friends. And just like the overall gunplay, A mechanics, and all the other stuff just really feels like something that has been done in Destiny, but doesn't really feel as bare bones as it was with the original Destiny, and also including Destiny 2. And it was like a very satisfying experience from start to finish. Just like taking like the usual framework of a traditional modern FPS game, where you just aim down shots, shoot at your enemies, and then reload and throwing grenades, and then also implemented some RPG mechanics, such as leveling up your character and getting better weapons as you progress through the game, that usually will have a better damage output than your previous weapon. And it's just like, that's also one of the things that I personally find very, very satisfying whenever it comes to playing RPGs, and also first-person shooter games, like basically FPS and RPG games, and even occasionally like platformer games like Mario. Those are like my favorite types of genres in gaming, especially, but mainly FPS games and mostly RPGs are like definitely my top two personally. While I like platformers, kind of like, I can just play it casually. You just pick it up and play it casually and have a good time with it. And so, yeah, and also recently, like the next game I've been working on my backlog was Doom 3, which is like a game that I started about 4 or 5 years ago, but never truly finished from start to finish, like I have with the other Doom games that I played so far, like Doom 1, Doom 2, and then also the first two recent Doom games are like kind of like the reboot series that originated back, where we had like the first reboot back in 2016, and then also we had like Doom Eternal in 2020, which I definitely did remember playing like back in 2022, just right after I finished. It's like, after I got Security Plus certified, and definitely had a blast with it, and just played with it as like one of my traditional Halloween games. And But Doom 3 kind of like really does kind of fit that horror aspect pretty well. Just like it's a lot more slower paced than its other counterparts. It's where like the other games are just more traditionally a lot more fast paced and more focused on the gunplay and less on the story, and just making it more of a really fun, enjoyable experience that's highly focused on gameplay from start to finish, and just going around shooting a bunch of demons from hell. And while Doom 3 kind of like has that similar formula, but it's usually a lot more slower paced, and it does and some of these levels do have more of that fast paced action, and as you're going through very dark corridors, and even and also kind of like borrow some other mechanics that are like from other games like the Half-Life series, to where basically particularly like the overall healing system, to where you basically kind of like find a kiosk and actually heal yourself just like you did in Half-Life 1 and 2, and it's just like pretty satisfying, just like trying to get your health back up, get yourself like get your health back up in shape. You just mindlessly go into the kiosk and rapidly left clicking until your health is filled up at 100%. But man, I don't know, for some reason just little details like that usually are very satisfying. And also Doom 3 is also a little bit more puzzle based as well, to where it kind of like really makes you feel like you're very immersed into where it's like not only just like pointing and clicking, but you really kind of literally have to do that in game, to where like some of the in-game terminals that Doom 3 has, that makes it very unique from other games that I played during the time. And just like seems like most modern games usually don't have that mechanic to where you can actually go up on a terminal, and they usually show a little cursor on the terminal that can actually move around based on where your reticule's located at. And just like I really like that really nice, that little attention to detail as well. That was pretty great. And also use that to like solve puzzles and all that stuff and in game. And it's just like kind of like another way that makes it very similar to Half-Life, but in its own unique way, in terms of like how you usually solve puzzles and try to progress through the game instead of just mindlessly just like running around on the map and just shooting a bunch of enemies and find those key cards that you use to access through locked doors, and so you can get from point A to point B, and then move on to the next level and rinse and repeat until you finish the game. And that's like really something that really made Doom 3 pretty impressive. And of course, and also that's kind of like basically a game that I chose to play for this Halloween season, even though that this month I'm not going to be able to spend that much time with gaming. And also I really don't anticipate seeing myself finishing Doom 3 before the end of Halloween, because as this month I've been doing a lot of traveling, to where not only I've kind of like done my trip in Seattle about a week ago, I'm also going to be outside the United States for a couple weeks, where I'm going to be visiting Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Scotland for a couple weeks, and we'll be scheduled to be back around Halloween, sometime around Halloween. And man, it's just going to be like another one of those once in a lifetime experiences that I'm probably that I won't forget for a very long time. And it's just like, and so what I'm going to say. So but just going over there, and also that's also a little fun fact. That's where most of my ancestors actually came from. And that's also going to make this trip a lot more special, to where, mainly I got most of my ancestors are from Scotland, and some are from Ireland. And of course, first is going to be Ireland. I'm going to like hit up Dublin, and then also actually experience the perfect pour of the Guinness is on the first day. And then also going to be traveling around Ireland and see like the ancient castles and all the other ancient ruins, and seeing the cliffs of Moher, and then followed by going to Northern Ireland, where I'm going to see the Giant's Causeway, and just see some of the great landscapes of Scotland, and also finish it off with just going to Edinburgh and seeing the Castle of Edinburgh again. So that's going to be great times. And so what else I'm going to say? So I gotta say, that's what I'm going to be doing right now. And I'm probably like this might be a couple weeks before I actually start my next video in this kind of format, but I would definitely like to see if I can try to do like another recap on my Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Scotland trip when I get back. And so yeah, that's kind of like how it's gonna be. And hope you guys really enjoy my commentary, and hope y'all have a blessed day. And I'll catch you all in the next one.